Hi everyone and welcome to Game Club, and today we'll be cooking up a storm in Kitchen Rush, the game where in real time you have to basically feed a whole restaurant of people and make sure that nothing gets burnt or anything gets spoiled or anyone gets angry and decides to complain. Right everyone, I'm going to start by unboxing and let's get her open. Right, now she's open. So the box itself, yeah, I think it's kind of quite bog standard. I like the kind of friendly central character and this chef guy who is blazing up a storm in the background and obviously ingredients, and I'm not quite sure what's going on with this door because there should be one going in and one going out. It looks like something haphazard is happening there, but maybe that's just to tell you about all the bad things that can happen if you don't do things correctly. Right, and then of course it's 8 plus 20 to 60 minutes apparently, and it's 2 to 4 players cooperative, just so you know. I'm just trying to get the box open. There we go. Okay, and then inside we've got Kitchen Rush, basically the booklet, quick start, which is always, I like when they have these quick start guides. Oh, you have your placement cards, your VP points, you have your dishes, okay, and they look like they're clean and dirty dishes. You've got your tokens, and once again some more clean and dirty dishes, and then you've got your squares which make up your board, all very nicely put together. Your items for food, etc. You've got your timers, and there's quite a few timers in there. It's actually quite timer heavy, but that's good. Your cards, and then finally your little selection bag there as well. It's quite nice. I think that I like the colour scheme, I like the content, I think it's pretty well put together. That's quite nice. It's reminiscent of Cooking Mama, if you've ever played that game online. Anyway, join us now as we're going to play and then review Kitchen Rush. In front of me is set up the basic first scenario version of Kitchen Rush. The game itself is very simple. I'll just quickly go over the board. The starting components are your actual restaurant here, and then of course you have your food components and your plates here as well. Now what happens is you put your timers where you want an action to take place, and obviously at the moment we have either the restaurant getting people in, we have the components choosing your larder, and we have the cooking of. And what happens is you will get people in, they will tell you what they want, they'll place their order, and then you have to cook it and serve it to them. So you will do that. Once the timer is exhausted, you can move on to other ones. Obviously other players can at the same time choose to help you out, or you can take orders, etc. It's about cooperating together to try as much as possible to get everything utilised effectively. Now as the game grows and obviously evolves, you will then find that you will have other options, optional extras as well. Spice cabinet, you'll have deliveries, you'll have additional components, which is like a dry store and a live store or a wet store. You will then have your more advanced customers coming in, critics, etc. And all of that's managed on your board, where effectively you have to do things, effectively cook. You have to then also make sure that you balance out food so that you've got the timings right for when you serve it. If you serve it early, you get bonuses. If you serve it late, you don't. Remember, obviously, you don't want stuff that's burnt or stuff that's hard or whatever. And it's all run in order for you to make a profit. The objective being that you've got to not only manage your customers, but you've got to manage the finances of the company as well, this restaurant. And it evolves. It's a ever increasingly involved scenario, and the booklet, which is here, helps you by illustrating the basics and then ramping it up on every single additional scenario. That's it. It is that simple. The game is about timers, components, food boards, cooking. For some, games like Kitchen Rush do not tickle their fancy at all. Reason being is because some people play games for quote unquote serious competitiveness. Good for you, you middle class person, you. Kitchen Rush is a game for people who don't want to have to fight each other to get points, but instead enjoy the idea not just of fun, but about the idea of being able to develop as a group, as a product, as a person. Because this is real life, this is game theory. If you like me enjoy the ideas of game theory, you'll understand tit for tat, which is what this is, which is that you're trying your hardest to work together for an ultimate goal. You're not a single being trying to do each other out of whatever you decide resource-wise there is. And that is why I quite like Kitchen Rush. I think it has that element and logic in it that makes it a fun play, but also a play that allows for you to have differing options, differing alternatives, differing solutions to those alternatives, and also differing abilities that can work kind of complementary together, but also it can try to be slightly cohesive. It's not always. The more ramped up the game gets, the harder it is to be so cohesive, especially when you want to choose items from stores, when you want to cook items especially, that's a big one, cooking items, and especially getting someone to wash up, which can be a pain in the tush, seriously. That all said, Kitchen Rush is the sort of game that benefits following the progress from start to finish, because I think that you will play it once and really enjoy it. However, I doubt you will go back more than once, because the scenarios become a little bit more irritating each time, and when you get to your final scenario, you will find most people, once they've completed it, will probably throw in the towel and say, I don't want to do that again, I'm done with it. But they will finally probably be exposed to a playing game that is for cooperative nature, and will allow them to finally understand that co-op games can be just as much fun as those competitive solo games. That said, and I've said that said a few times today, but the biggest bugbear I have with the game is the timing situation. There's a thing where it says 4 to 5 minutes if you're doing it, but that needs to be more cohesive. There needs to be an alternative timer for that. Bar that, the game is very good, and I like it. I don't like it's not replayable after you complete it, but I think that if you played it once and enjoy it, you may return back to play a couple of times, maybe the first or second or third scenarios, just because the gradient is so slight that it does actually complement playing again. Once you get to the fourth scenario, it becomes kind of quite extreme, because what you're doing is you're flipping over those tiles, and each time is a sort of separate scenario. Once you start getting to the bit where you're employing people, I think some people will just say enough's enough. So, that was Kitchen Rush. I'm Simon and this is Game Club, and thank you for watching.